Hello and welcome to the WarDawg Trail podcast. This is episode 146. Guess where I'm tapping in from today? I'm down under in Australia with TOMMO, the one and only. All right. We're out here representing Psych War Gang, Camp Doghouse, Sergeant WarDawg TV, the WarDawg Trail podcast, and everything that TOMMO is about to have going and already has going in this country. All right, TOMMO, talk to us.
Brother, come here. Give me a fucking hug.
Hey, salute.
I can touch you now,
Salute.
man.
Salute.
How good is this? How good is this sitting here with one another, bro? We're no longer over the phones. It's been, 6 months in the making?
6 months, bro.
We're finally here. We got it. This crazy motherfucker straight off a plane. 16 hours. 16 and a bit hours?
16 was just to leave Texas.
Yeah.
It was, 3 from Florida to Texas, and then 16 from Texas to Australia. So 19, 20 hours. But it was worth every second.
And we're going live instantly before he even has a kit. How good is that? That's how much we love you guys. That's how much we love this shit. So, brother, I want to know, what was the plane like, right?
It was good, man. I had no complaints, bro.
Yeah.
I had my Netflix movies downloaded, you know what I mean? I do need to thank the fact that once I got to Dallas, Texas, I didn't know they had the duty-free stores going on there, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that I was able to pick up, the nicotine that I need, man, because ever since Iraq, I needed my nicotine, tobacco, whatnot. So the fact that I was able to buy some Juul vapes in Texas and Dallas, and then pick up not Zens, but there's another brand that I have with the nicotine pouches.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could take those on the plane, man, but I'm so grateful. I went through Qantas, which was operated by American Airlines. And it was amazing, man. I won't lie to you. Been to Iraq 3 times, right? Leaving the States. This is the first time I ever had turbulence going over the Pacific. Going over the Pacific Ocean from California to Australia. I never had that kind of turbulence in my life. And I just kept waiting and looking around like, okay, is the pilot about to say something? Or you know what I mean? Is this nobody else was tripping though? So I was like, shit, let me shut the fuck up then. It must not be nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, mate, Qantas. I haven't flown American Airlines, so it'd be interesting. I know we're just partnering up with them. But yeah, man, look, mate, I've done 26 countries, and I don't think I've been on a plane longer than 12 hours. So, salute, brother. Salute, bro.
Salute, bro.
That's I'd need more than fucking nicotine pouches for that long. I can tell you. I'd have the patches and everything on. Yeah, so give me your first impressions, bro. What was it like getting off the plane?
Yo, I'm loving Australia. I'm loving the flow. I'm loving the culture, the hospitality of everyone here. I got lost a few times, man, just going from, walking off the plane to getting, going through customs and grabbing my luggage. But everyone I ran into was so, nice, loving, kind. They knew I was just an lost American. They told me, hey, go, you know what I mean? Just head that way, and we'll take care of you. And that's what happened, man. So, I love though, man, just even being here and just seeing the highways now, seeing the city, it's amazing. And even though I had my little what I thought was research on Australia, check this out, y'all. I still walked up to his car. And got in. I still walked up like I was in America and got in on the wrong fucking side.
He wanted to drive.
I walked over like it was the passenger side of an American vehicle. I was about to jump in. He paused. He looked at me like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? I'm looking at him like, bro, what the fuck going on? I'm just trying to ride with you, you know what I mean? But he's you're on the wrong side.
We're back the front down under.
All of my research, I just hopped off the plane and forgot I'm on the wrong motherfucking side of the car, which means wrong side of the road. But glad I was here with my dog, and Yeah, man, it's nice. It's
Yeah,
nice.
mate. Well, we haven't even really seen much yet. We've only got the trip home, got you nice and settled in. Like I told you, you're a guest for a day, then I expect you to look after yourself. I'm a good host for the first 24 hours, then I expect you to just fucking go into military mode and make yourself at home, brother.
Right on.
So yeah, man. Look, we can't even tell you what we've got planned. We're just gonna wing it, aren't we?
Man. That's the only best way, bro. Bro, it just summer just began here in Australia, all right? So yeah, we're here like retired war veteran beach bums in the middle of motherfucking December in Australia. Oh shit! Matter of fact, let me tell you, man. I came from Florida dressed damn near like I am. Right? It's warm as fucking Florida. I know it's close to Christmas. I hopped on the plane. You know everything's fine. Everyone's in. You know wearing what I'm wearing. Hey, to Texas, snowing. Everybody, covered up. I'm the only one in there with shorts and no shirt. And, so they looking at me either one or two ways. Either he got to be, off, or he got to. But still, I had to ride that way from Texas all the way to Australia. So the crowd that did get on in Texas wearing, their snow gear, they got on looking at me again like, what the fuck is he? Who gets?
Didn't tell you. I got all excited, man, because I got there right on. Actually, I'm pretty sure I pulled up in the car park as you were landing, and I've walked in and I was like, and I sit there when I'm sitting at the gate and I try to work out who's who and what flights they're coming off, what countries and everything like that.
Yeah.
Sitting there, and then this chick walks out with the big cowboy hat, and I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers made customs quick ass. And then we're sitting there for another 30 minutes waiting for you to come. I'm like, where the fuck is this, mate?
30 minutes? Serious?
Oh, bro, that's what it is. Don't stress about that. I told you I'd get there early.
Right.
I don't like to be there, Rush, man. I didn't want you to walk out those doors without me, bro. Well, I have to put up. I got a little clip to smile, man. You smile when you walk through. Made my day, bro.
Because I was like, I went from lost to seeing somebody I knew on this earth somewhere, and it was like home. Like, oh shit! All right, now I feel cool. Hey, and those of you who don't know, I've never been paranoid or afraid of it, so don't try to call me pussy or weak or nothing like that. All right, but I haven't left the country I haven't left the States since my last tour in Fallujah, which was my second run in Fallujah. All right, I went there in 2004. And again in 2005. So I haven't left the States, and I definitely haven't left without a gun in my hands.
Well, I'm going to say hats off to you, brother, because my connections with DV Radio goes back to 2016, 2017. And I can tell you right now, there's not an American that I've spoken to besides you that's fucking got the balls to get off the plane here in Australia without a gun. So you can tell all your American friends that the wildlife's not going to eat you as soon as you get off the plane.
Hey, in all seriousness, no bullshit, right? I feel fine and cool, even with my, whatever, war paranoia and stepping into another foreign country, because I saw the homie. I saw Tommo. Tommo, as we all know, Australian Army, Afghanistan war veteran. I got here, saw him. It was all right then. I knew I didn't have whatever I was, was used to.
He's got
having.
These motherfuckers with him.
Once I saw Tommo, I knew everything was all right. I knew we were good,
Yeah, we got to learn to use these over here, brother. We're not allowed guns, so. Especially us crazy war veterans. Oh man, nah, bro, it's fucking wicked to have you here, man. Like,
right on.
This is a stepping stone, mate. Like, we've been building, getting things organized, getting the 501c3, was it? Yep, getting that organized for Camp Doghouse. So, man, to have you here to get things kicking off, man, and in person, it makes it a lot more personalized,
Cool.
We're no longer just fucking strangers across the ditch.
Well, shit, I wasn't bullshitting when I told you. I was like, bro, before I die, I got to see you one day. I don't know, you know what I mean, how it's going to work in the world, life, whatever. But shit, before the casket drops, I got to see you at least one day in person, man. Hey, and lo and behold, less than a year later, man, world has an amazing way of working things out. Tommo and I are united here, in Australia, 2025. And we're also representing, as you see on the screen, Camp Doghouse, all right, and campdoghouse.org, all right. Tommo is the vice president. I am the CEO of the company, all right. We are now in the process of trying to acquire about 9 acres, where I already have 2 smaller camps that were nowhere near what we're doing now for this company. All right. They were 2 introductory little camps to try to introduce us to the land, recon the area. Now we know what's there. Now we know what we're ready to build. You see the blueprint on the screen. All right. So check us out at campdoghouse.org. You can see we are now registered 501c3.
And make sure, see the QR code. Help us out. Help us out. We can't do this out without the support of our followers, guys. And we're going to need that support so we can make a difference. I've been in the veteran services sector now, especially over here. I moved up here after my 3rd admission into the psych ward. So since then, I know what it takes to get organisations off the ground. And we can't do it without the support of our followers. So as you've seen there, make sure that you scan that QR code, check us out, see what we're doing, and throw us some support our way.
Hey, all right. I apologize for that. I really apologize for that.
Now, you're going to have to, you don't apologize, bro. This is how we roll.
All right.
Look, we're winging all this. This motherfucker's only just gotten off a plane, and we're already live, getting out there, touching base with you guys. So, 20 hours of travel, cut us a little bit of slack, mate. We've just made some big investments in helping this stuff grow. We're going to get some coaching and some mentoring on this side of things, and we're going to make it look a little bit more polished, but we're going to keep that rawness, that unfiltered truth that's coming through, because at the end of the day, mate, after what have we got in total between the two of us? 18 trips?
18 motherfucking trips to the cycle. Can you even... Do you understand what that means? I don't think y'all get that. Guys like Tommo and I, right? The world expects us to be homeless on the side of the road with, on some sort of addiction. No hope for the future. Nothing happening 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We were both written off.
24, they told me I'd never work again. They made me totally and permanently incapacitated. And here we are, building businesses and empires, making a difference in our community. And mate, that for me, that's always been, man, like we spoke about earlier, man. You asked me, it's like, how after this many trips, what did you say? Give them a bit of a rundown what you said about me. You haven't met a dude like me.
Yeah, you all know, you know what I mean? I get into it. Not so much years ago, but I own up to it now. I had to be hospitalized 5 separate occasions for my battles with suicide, right? Now, Tommo has had to be hospitalized 13 times. You peep what I'm saying? This is why we call it the motherfucking psych ward game. Peep game now, right? We call it the psych ward game because 9 times out of 10, I don't care if you're here in Australia and you might run into a motherfucker like Tommo, or you're in the States, you might run into a motherfucker like me. When you hit the psych ward, 9 times out of 10, there's always another veteran in there, man. Usually another war veteran, all right?
Just don't go over Christmas. There tends to be no veterans there, I found out. But I get that, man. It makes sense to me, bro, because that's when we go into hibernation the most. It's usually, I've found, probably over those stints that that holiday periods where we're knuckling down for families and friends and like that. And if we don't have anyone, it's sort of that isolation period while everyone's getting into the festive season. And I've usually found out that, look, also too, it's usually all the high paying professionals that usually go in over the Christmas time, because that's when it's the quietest. So, yeah, man, I found out that it's usually come the end of that festive season is usually when we find out that we really need some help. And that's when I've gotten in there, you know. And just some context on that, mate. There a lot of those, you know. I've only ever been taken there once with under what do they call it here? It doesn't matter. But I've only once did I go in there and it wasn't my choice.
Involuntary.
Involuntary. That's it. The involuntary stay. And I can tell you right now that was that made me realize how lucky I'd been up until that point. That would have been my 11th admission after the divorce. And I can tell you right now, after experiencing that, man, I felt sorry for those guys in there, man. I was in a very secure ward.
Hold on for a second, man. Hey, it's all love over here. Did you hear that motherfucker say his 11th? Tommo can count his. Hey, straight up. Hey, this why it's like war game with war veterans. Tommo can count all 13. You heard he just called out number 11. I fucking probably couldn't tell you what happened on number 3, but fucking Tommo can tell you what happened on number 11. And that's why we clicked, bro. From Australia to the States and back. Been to war, hit the ground bottom, pulled ourselves up, and this is what we're doing, man.
Just, man, it's for me, it's giving back with that lived experience, bro. Making this shit not so taboo like it is. At the end of the day, I wouldn't still be sitting here without those admissions, bro. I wouldn't have been able to acquire the knowledge that was required for me to help to take the next steps, man. And, you know, like you said, man, I'm sitting over here. I'm on my 3rd business since getting home. I'm going live with this shit. Yeah. 3rd business, just trying to put some purpose and some direction back in my life, man. And it feels really good this time round to be doing something, one, for myself and not for anybody else. And 2, as things get tough, man, the Western world's it's taken some big hits, man. And it's, you know, my pension doesn't go as far as it used to, man. And I love traveling. That's what keeps me sane, going to new places, meeting new people, sharing new environments. The biggest thing for me with traveling, man, is learning different cultures, just like in the psych ward game. Just in the psych wards, man, I'm learning shit about how to live life differently, you know, how other people do it around the world and how they get through it. And that's obviously our connection to Thailand now with my wife over there, man. That's played a huge part in the role, man. My first proper rehab where I actually went there to focus on the addiction side of my trauma and my self-medication and coping mechanisms down in Byron Bay. Man, when you get out here next time, we've got some time. I'm going to take you down there. That place is that place is fucking amazing. But the Byron Bay private down there, mate, the last thing they told me, you know, after 12 trips to psych wards at that stage, they told me there's not much else we can teach you, man, but you've really got to embrace the spiritual side of your healing journey. And that was my big drive after my divorce, man. I went back to Thailand, you know. I ended up over there, bro. My first trip to Thailand. So I marched out of my IETs, my initial employment training as an engineer, got posted to my unit on the Friday night and woke up on the Monday morning and got on a Herc and flew to Malaysia for 3 months. And over there we went and worked with the Malays, the Thais and the Singaporeans. And my dad was my dad was military police, and back in the 80s, he spent a year over there as an MP. And the only good stories the whole man ever told me about his service was over in Thailand. So when we had our week's leave, I actually flew the old man over. He met us in Bangkok, took 7 of us out for 2 nights and showed us the back streets of Bangkok, where he used to have to go and find all the diggers that had gone fucking AWOL or gone missing after they'd...
Wait. I've heard you say diggers.
Yep.
What is a digger?
Oh, a digger.
I'm just an American grunt, Marine, not the smartest. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Anyway, into that part.
Where's the crowds?
But what is a digger though? I've heard this might be.
It's our equivalent of a private. That's what we call a private in Australia.
Okay.
So you're a soldier and you're a private.
Okay.
We refer to all of us as diggers at the end of the day.
Okay.
But that's where it originated from.
Rank.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was basically that you joined in soon as you got out of recruit training, and you went in into your units, and that it's just. Look, any Australians listening, you can correct me somewhere in the comments or something like that. Probably should know more of that shit, but that's just what we've always been referred to, man, as the diggers. So yeah, we got where was I?
You were talking about what you explained to me what a digger was.
Oh yeah.
And then before that though, you were getting.
We're in Bangkok. Yeah, so the old man took us through the back streets of Bangkok. We got to see all the places that. Well, any motherfucker that's in the military likes to go, especially your sailors. And then I flew down with Darkness and my old man to Phuket, and we spent 7 days there, man. And to be honest with you, it was the first time in my life that me and my father had connected on a level like that. So it was pretty amazing. But yeah, man, I fell in love with that place, and I swore to myself if I wasn't married by 40 or I was divorced by 40, I was going to Thailand and I was buying a bar, and that's where I was going to live out my life. So after my little escapade with the doctor that I met in the psych ward after my divorce.
Oh. Y'all notice how he tried to walk past that? Hey, I don't even know the details. So right now, my first day in Australia. Hold on, because I have one other friend who did what you did.
Yeah.
And he actually married her.
Yeah.
The doctor. So let's hear the story of how Tommo's medical doctor became his.
Wait. She was a patient. She was a patient. She just happened to be a doctor.
What happens in the psych ward stays in the psych ward.
Yeah, mate. So I'm obviously not going to disclose names. She's living her best life, doing what we wanted to do and travel, man. And look, I got so much respect for that woman. Things didn't work out the way, and I don't look. To be honest, I don't think they ever were. We were both healing one another after a breakdown. That's like I said. That was the trip, the admission, man. I was in with doctors, neuroscientists, real estate moguls. That's when I found out the psych ward is not always full of fucking crazy drug addicts. So, man, she was actually, that was it. They're obviously coming out of COVID, completely worn down and stuff like that, man. And I'm blessed, man. It was fun, man. It was exactly what was needed after everything I'd been through with the breakdown of the marriage and everything like that. And I think we discussed that with the guys last time with Larry. So I don't like talking about that too much. So yeah, man, we met up. Man, I was lucky enough after I got off parole that she flew me over to Paris and Barcelona for my birthday. Nice. Had an amazing trip over there. And then yeah, man, she was traveling, and it just went the way it was. But after that, man, I went over to get the sleeve done. And I went back. So I met the when I was over there with my old man, we sat at a bar. My old man walked us down Top Markets in Phuket and said, just follow my lead. Anyone that comes out and makes a fuss and the girls come out and try to drag you in, we'll leave. The one that makes the least fuss about us is the one we'll go and sit up. Now, Tiggy, she was the owner of the bar at the time. Yeah, we made amazing friends with her. Mate, we didn't move. The girls there did all our shopping for us. They brought us all our food, man. We literally just had to crawl out of bed in the morning, find our way over to go for breakfast, find our way over to the bar when they woke up. And we sat there from 11 o'clock in the morning until the girls were carrying me home at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't walk. And we had an amazing time. But look, I went back 10 years later with my ex for my 30th birthday. And we stayed up at Colac, which is a few hours north where the tsunami hit. And for my birthday night, I had a mate coming over with his fucking missus. yeah, if you're listening to this, you're the fuckhead. We caught up with them, and all I wanted to do was show the ex-wife. I was like, we've got to go down and see Tiggy. Like, she's not going to remember, but thing. Walked in there. We got there a little bit early. Wasn't there, so we went out for the night. We've gone back later on when the bar was open, and I'm sitting there pissed trying to tell the ex, like, this is mine and my dad's name up on the top of the, like, signed on the roof. And she's like, Tom, I remember you and your dad. You were dancing. You were the ones that signed there. And I was like, 10 years. 10 years, man. The Ty's memory was just absolutely amazing, man. Anyways, we did that. And then, yeah, when I went back to get my sleeve, caught up with her again. I didn't know she was selling her bar. If I had known it, I probably would have bought it. But, yeah, man, got there in Phuket, met my missus, my wife now. And that's when I really went on the spiritual journey side of things, man. So we spent I was only supposed to be there for 10 days, ended up staying the whole month, cancelled 3 flights, kept changing them, because we were going back to the missus's village. And once we got up there, we started touring the temples and everything like that. And, you know, I wouldn't say that I'm a religious person, but Buddhism for me was something that that made sense in my head, the way that I could work it out. And it was the path that I started chosen, because a lot of our therapy models and stuff in here in Australia are built off a lot of, like, the mindfulness. There's a lot of Buddhist teachings in a lot of our therapy models over here in Australia. So it was something I got into massively, and I just knew I was always going to be. It's not over yet. I do intend to have a bar over there at some point to give me the excuse to stay down in Phuket for a bit longer than I usually do.
How you going to explain to the monks that you own a bar?
Hey?
Yeah. How you going to explain to the monks that you own a bar?
Mate, this is the best thing about Buddhist culture. This is the best thing about Buddhist culture, bro.
They don't get mad at you?
No, man. Like,
all right, we're having this live right now.
My mother-in-law gets Thai whiskey as an offering. Okay. Like, when we go out to the rice fields with her cousins and they do their offerings to Buddha before, to the gods before they harvest and that, for good luck and everything like that, man. We're sitting out there with a bottle of Hong Tong, which is their Thai whiskey. Man, and I'm sitting there that day, bro. He fucking messed me up. We're sitting there, it's lunchtime. He's like, "Oh, have one shot," and they haven't got the little ones. They've still got the old 60ml shot. So it's like, one, and then him and all his Thai mates are to each other, and I'm like, "Fuck, yeah, Tom, mate." Within half an hour, I'd had half a bottle of this whiskey, and they're just feeding me. And then I've got to get on the back of the missus's scooter, go down to the local school, meet all the school kids where her cousin teaches. Trying to keep it all together. But yeah, man, like, I think that all originated from, like, the spiritual side of the journey for me, and Thailand is where I found it, mate. That is where, if it wasn't for my kids here in Australia, man, I'd be there already. But I can't. I've got to make sure the kids are ready, sorted before, especially after everything I've put them through, before I take off. So that's why I'm back building businesses and trying to make money, bro, because I've got to be able to afford a life between Australia and Thailand at the moment, and my pension just doesn't cut it anymore. So, yeah. But, yeah, that was, what are we going on now? So, shit, it's nearly 2 years ago. It was January 2024 I went over there. And here we are now.
All right. Now that I am here, face to face with TOMMO, all right, we're gonna break it down on some of this psych ward treatment, especially by family members that I never got to ask him about, face to face. All right. Now with this, I'm going into. Yes, I understand. We were out of our minds. We were off our rockers. We were off our hinges. We were lunatics. We needed to be in the asylum. We encompass it all the way you want. I'm gonna tell you, I was motherfucking sick.
And that's
all I'm gonna tell you. You all right? I'm not gonna go into the separate diagnoses. We're not gonna bring out the DSM. All right.
I always joke they'd write the next DSM about me.
No excuses for any behaviors. No, I'm not saying it in that way, but Not even a but. I was sick.
100%.
Not as sick. Been through years of therapy, medication, holistic, which we're also going to get into while we're here in Australia, because we're going to step outside of just conventional and what we all have been thinking. We're going to debunk some myths, man. That's what this is all about, man. Is war veteran healing from all directions, always. Hey, you know how we get down, man. Y'all know how we get down. But I want to jump into it real quick. I had a family member once tell me that with war veterans, it's like you all get stuck on stupid. And yeah, I get it. Matter of fact, we can even go into it. We get it all these years later.
Yeah.
PTSD is a joke to everyone. We get it. You hear a guy from wherever, military, first responder, anywhere, talk about PTSD. You feel there's no respect given to it anymore. There's no weight given to it anymore. We do now all have more acknowledgement of what trauma is and the different forms outside of just war and combat. I do, own up to that. But as far as military guys, we get it. It's played out, telling you that, hey, the PTSD part, all right? Because too many of you turn it around, use it against us, say we're crying wolf, say we're malingering, whatever the fuck, all right? Point is, I'm admitting to you, I was sick. And any of you that would have ran up on me at that time and thought you had an edge or you going to do something to me, you better thank God you didn't, because you didn't know what I had in store for you. Every moment up until right now, you didn't know what I had in store for you, just waiting and praying. All right, but I want to talk to Tommo about what I just said. First off, family member telling me, hey, man, with y'all war veteran guys, it's like y'all get stuck on stupid, man. And then, like, you personally, like, I thought your mind was gone. I thought you were gone. I wrote you off. Like, I've been told that before. So if he's been 13 times, fuck he got to say.
Man, I suppose it's a lot different for me, man, because of the way, as we all know, I'm pretty fucking open and honest about it. But look, it all started for me, man. Like, I knew within the first 3 weeks of being home that something wasn't right. The nightmares had started. And I actually, by the time I got home in November 2010. And by Christmas that year, before I went home, I'd already been in to see the docs and they were giving me Seroquel to sleep. After we come back from Christmas and I went home, I really knew, the anger, man, especially going back home. I was bullied a lot as a kid, man. And
not just anger. We call it war anger. All right. It's not just anger management. When you've been trained to kill, paid to kill, have whatever. Hey, war anger is what we call it. All right. Not just anger management.
And I can tell you the difference between that, bro, is I think I've discussed it with you before. They talk about being angry and seeing red. There's no red, it's just black. It's just fucking black, man. It's just complete darkness. You've got no recollection of what is going on, and it's just completely acting without any idea of what's going on in your head, man. And going back home, man, especially straight after the war, man, to a bunch of dudes that all thought I was a pussy. They found out pretty fucking quickly I wasn't. And then it all changed, man. No one wanted to hang out with me anymore. They couldn't understand it. They just thought I was completely fucking bonkers. And look, I probably was. Well, I definitely was, because I wasn't able to control any of my feelings or emotions. And I think the narrative at the start, mate, I was pretty lucky. We were pretty lucky here in Australia because General Cantwell, he was the boss of the Middle East while I was deployed. He was over there with you guys in Iraq. What was he doing? He was working with the tank things. There's a bit in his book that I remember him actually talking to getting caught up in the dust thing and trying to link up the Brits and the Americans together, and they got fucking lost out in the dust as the liaison in between them. Yeah, in the sandstorm, bro.
Yeah, the sandstorm was a motherfucker.
And from my recollection, I'm pretty sure we were actually going to be admitted into the same hospital at the same time. But he was, when he returned home, he was second in line for chief of defence. Wow. So he was swept all under the rug, and it was all kept very, very quiet. Because they didn't want, you know, it's all well and good the boots on the ground doing it, but if you've got the second highest ranking officer in the military coming out saying we've got issues here, that's not a good look for the military. And you know, I don't know how much the Americans follow the shit that's gone on over here since we've come home, especially with our special forces, and the way the media and the top brass went after them, trying to cover their own tracks, man. It was absolutely disgusting. But going back to that, man, so it was all fairly quiet. And at that point too, mate, I was very early. I think what I missed out on saying there was after I got back from that Christmas, man, as I was getting ready to discharge from the army, which I was, once again, they didn't want to accept the fact that us guys were going to be having issues, man. And I remember the psychologist telling me, he goes, you can't get out of the army yet. You need at least 6 months of therapy beforehand. I was like, well, is that fucking right? I said, well, we can fix that. I just went down to the GP, the doc, and I just said to him, mate, if you don't let me fucking leave the army now, I'm going to walk back into those barracks. I'm going to bash every motherfucker in there. Anyone that looks at me fucking strange, I'm just going to start flogging people, because that was the biggest thing for me, man. Like I didn't do as many trips or tours as you, bro, but coming back, I don't know what it was like for you, coming back to barracks after you've been out at war and all that bullshit they have in there. Your pockets fucking open, you've just killed your mate, and all that bullshit. Oh, you know, your fucking uniforms. And I was like, that shit doesn't win fucking wars, and I can't put up with that shit. So I was pretty lucky too, because at that point in time, I just bought my parents' security business out of liquidation to try and save the family home. So I had a job to walk out into. So all I had to say was the doc was that I'm going to get violent. And they were like, well, see you later. Here's your discharge. See you later, mate. Get out of here. Don't cause us any more problems. And then, yeah, mate, going home and getting back into it over Christmas. Obviously, it was 3 months of party. We pretty much stood down for 3 months after we got back from our tour with the Christmas holiday period and everything. Got back up. And I knew, actually, I was supposed to get promoted, but I got in an incident the third night home and ended up in hospital with a suspected fractured jaw and skull after having a punch on out the front of the strip club. Spent 8 hours in hospital there. And when I got back, we had a new CO. And when I went in for my show cause, he basically, he was new to the year and didn't know anything. He basically told me, I don't know you. I don't know you're not going to fuck up again. So I need a paper trail to kick you out of the army. And I was like, well, here's me fucking discharge, cunt. You can have it. And then I remember, man, I marched my troop over to the Boozer and just stood up in front of the 30 of them and said, hey, I don't know what's happening for you guys, but I know I'm fucked up. And all I can say to you boys, that don't try and hide this shit, because it's not going to get better. Because I knew, man, I'm 7 generations in military. I knew what the effects of war was going to have on the family unit, especially after finding out that my wife at the time was pregnant. That was the other half of the factor for me getting discharged, man, because after coming home and helping widows and kids of the boys we lost, man, like there's no way I could have put my family through it again. So that was a helping decision for me to discharge. And yeah, man, I've walked them over and got home. And I think the only condition they put on me when I left was that I had to organise counselling when I got home. And I'm so grateful that I did that shit, man, because it led to plenty of admissions in hospital, but I was able to get the help and support to start unraveling what was going on inside my mind and my body. Because it wasn't just mental, it was physically. I was so tense, just always on edge. And we talk about the PTSD things, man. And I think for me, I'd like to think that I've conquered a lot of the demons that kept me awake at night and stuff like that. Now, you know, I no longer go into a dream of Afghanistan with fear. I go in there, it's like, fuck you, I'm back. I'm back. I love that shit. But yeah, man. Fuck, there goes my brain again.
Actually, I wanted to redirect you. We were getting into family disowning when you were at your worst or sick, or you know what I like to call sick, man. You were out of your mind. You weren't you. You were not sane. You ain't no other way to call it. But
I was sick, man. You used the best words there. I was sick. Yeah, man. Look, both my parents are ex-military. My mother was in the first platoon of women to do combat training in the Australian military. My father did 24 years. He was the head of the SIB, lead detective when he discharged. And they'd both grown up with parents that had been to war. So I probably had a little bit more understanding, but I think the biggest one that coming from was my ex-wife, man. She couldn't understand what was going on because what fuck, she was only 19, man. She'd come over from England and she was pregnant at 19 in Australia. She had one of her brothers, or two of her brothers come over, but one of them stayed with us for, I think, 18 months. But she was lost, so she didn't really know what to do. So the support from that, she was just like, I remember later on, she actually thought that I was a secret cokehead. She's like, your fucking rage it's just like you're a fucking drug addict. And, you know, from her background and stuff like that, man, it must have been pretty crazy. But for her, man, for me personally, it was the shut off. When I got wild and stuff like that, where they just isolate me or stay away from me, and I couldn't understand why. It was more so probably, man, being real was probably coming from my mates. Was like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you? What's the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Why are you acting out and carrying on so much like that? So, yeah, for me, man, and back home in the civvy population, man, they just completely saw me as a completely different human being. They used to want to pick on me. Now they were too scared to come to my house in fear of what I was going to do to them. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, I seen the change there, and I suppose I was pretty. Here you go. You want to know the one? You want to know the one that fucking really set me off? It was my first crowd control gig as the boss of the security company, and it was a BNS ball. And our BNS ball was a bachelor and spin cylinders ball. It's where all the what you guys call the rednecks, where all the rednecks come together, mate, and they just get on the piss with their fucking pickups and just go wild, absolutely wild. And I'd been out there for about 10 hours already. It was getting later in the evening, and my mother had been there. Bragging, you know, I was 23 at the time. The boss is out there. It's his first big job and everything like that. And I had this dude that was hanging on to me mum bring one of his mates over to introduce himself. And he looked at me and he said, oh, yeah, you're the guy that's just come home from war. One of those fuckheads that just follows the Americans. How do you think that went? Bro, next thing you know, I've got him by the throat and I'm dragging him around the back of this fucking building. And I had to have actually two of my guards come over and tackle me to get me off this dude, man. And that was when I knew, well, security's probably not the best for me because my anger and my rage is out there. So what was it like for you, bro? Obviously, someone close to you, man. I haven't had that experience. You touch on that. You had a family member telling you.
Telling me what?
What you said earlier about you.
I know hey, even when we try to be serious and on point, check it out. I had a traumatic brain injury. He had a traumatic brain injury. I suffer from can't remember shit. He suffers from can't remember shit. Did y'all just see that moment? I don't know what the fuck he was asking me. Hey, but it happens to him too. He'll be in the middle. He don't know what I just asked him. So when we have guests on the show and you notice us being like, what did you just say again? I know you said it, but what state were you from again?
Man, I would just
say you were a cop or a fireman. You gotta ask me that next Thursday, man. When my brother. You gotta catch me.
Man, but I don't know about you, bro. That shit chewed me up, man. I had to actually train myself to not get angry at that. I used to get so angry at it, man. They can't remember stuff, and I was like, fuck. And it just used to trigger off the anger even more, because I'm like, fucking, what is wrong with me? Yeah, bro. So I suppose that we started that with you know, having a family member asking, you know, what's wrong with you war veterans? You're all fucking cuckoo.
Oh, yeah. Well, the statement was, you know, what's wrong with us as war veterans? And okay, like I said, I get it. And there's no pity. There's no one asking for not a. Hey, a matter of fact, if you ever had the motherfucking idea that a veteran came to you asking for pity, especially after something they did or seen in the war and combat, kiss my ass. One more time. If you ever thought and you didn't remember that a veteran who you think needed your pity has been around the world with just him and his maker to face whatever you've never known or seen and never asked for pity then, it's like they don't ask for your pity now. Open your motherfucking eyes, killer.
Salute.
He didn't need your pity. He might have needed your love, respect, kind words, but never motherfucking pity. Because you don't know that the place and people he was with wouldn't have even allowed him to have pity.
100%, brother.
Eat on the rest of it. Tired of motherfuckers not owning up to the fact that in war, when we leave, there's no family visitation. All right? I understand prison life is hard. Jail life is hard. Think about everything we walk away from, though, when we go to war, all right? All your family members, hey, your car, your girlfriend. Notice what order I said that in, right? Car, then girlfriend. Get your shit together. Hey, get your shit right. You feel what I'm saying? Get your shit right, all right? All right? Hey. But yeah, and most people don't know, man, there are no release dates. All right, there are no exact release dates. You don't leave. Tommo didn't leave Australia knowing exact date, time he was returning. I didn't leave each time.
I went to Afghanistan, didn't even know that I was going to be patrolling on foot. I didn't find that out until I was 3 days out of country in Alminat. We've been working out of vehicles the whole fucking time. All our training was fucking out of vehicles, bro. It was crazy, man. I look back at that, man, like our pre-deployment training, man. What the fuck were we preparing for? Mate, the only Overwatch search I ever did was in fucking grass higher than me hips, trying to swing a mine lab. We're just lucky we got a couple of days where one of the bushmasters bottomed out on a rock and started a bushfire that kept us down by the river for 3 days.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, shit. Man, but I want to know, I don't know, I've touched on it. What was your first admission like? What led you to your first admission?
All right. First off, my first admission, like most military guys, you know, if you tell your buddy, hey, if I start fucking up, you grab me by the back of my collar, my jacket, my arm, my neck, whatever you need to do. If I start to act up and get in trouble, you grab me and get me the fuck out of there. All right? That's what we do for each other. That's the brotherhood I've known since I was 18, right? I went to a place where I told 2 people that were close to me to watch out for me. And I'm sorry, I'm not pawning this off on them in any way at all. All right. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I was starting to have depression for the first time after the war. I had been on my civilian life, going to college, working security overnight. Somewhere during my senior year, all my memories came back at the same time. First tour, second tour, third tour, they all flooded me. I mean, like, I'd have to sit there like with a calendar in my head, like, damn, okay, gunfight. How old was I? What city was that? What year was that? Okay, another gun, like this time my buddy passed. What year was that? What city was, you know, just, and it all came back a little too much at the same time. Too many, you know what it is, names for. So I got into drinking at that point, went out with the guys, had too much to drink, got into a point where the police asked me not to say "oorah," and asking a Marine not to say "oorah."
But I'm Australian, don't know not to say that shit.
Police officer to tell a Marine not to say "oorah" is like telling a human not to breathe. And I said, "Hoorah, motherfucker!" You know, I had to be me if you're gonna say it like that, shit. But yeah, they saw me, losing my mind, kind of spazzing out, calling contact right, hearing women crying in Fallujah, kids burn up when we first crossed the border to Iraq, whatever. It just all flooded me, and they could see it. They were able to get my wallet. They saw my military ID. From there, some of them were arguing about putting me in a psych ward. The others were arguing about putting me in a drunk tank and giving me a criminal charge.
Yeah.
Right? And hell, believe it or not, in that particular instance, it was the one black cop who was trying to put me in jail the whole night. It was the one black cop. All right? Not everyone else. Everyone else saw, hey, he's at his Marine ID. You can see he's a sergeant. He's just losing his shit right now.
Yeah.
He's been over there a little too much. There's one particular guy, though. It had to be a black guy. He was, nah, fuck that. Put his ass in jail. Put him in the drunk tank. Fuck that. Yeah, salute to you. Salute, though, to the guys who didn't notice that I was just sick, man.
Yeah.
And so they gave me what they call a silver bullet, which is that tranquilizer that put you down for 2 days. So got it on a Friday. Don't know what the fuck happened till Sunday. Woke up having to piss for 2 days straight. You dig what I'm saying? But I do remember that first one, bro. Somewhere in the middle of that night before I woke up completely, the motherfucker in my room was a white guy. He was completely naked. And he was walking naked over to another guy in their bed.
White magic.
And I saw that he was like putting his, nuts next to the other guy's face and head while he was asleep. But I happened to wake up, thank God, and notice this and see this. And I said, man, I'm going to use everything I was ever taught or in my life trained to do right now if he comes near me. If he comes anywhere near me naked, I'm going to set it off. And thankfully he didn't,
So I want to touch on that base. Yeah, you've been in there. You've been stabilized. What was that feeling going back once you obviously got stabilized and going back to your family? What was that like? What was that like leaving for you?
Fucking escaping from the war again, alive.
Yeah.
Like escaping from anywhere else by the hair of your teeth, by barely making it. Yeah. But grateful now. Grateful to be alive, breathing, grateful to not have pain in your body in certain places. Grateful like a motherfucker now.
Yeah.
Always grateful, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that was a big shock because for me, my first one, I'd actually sent my wife and my 6-month-old son back to England, and I didn't know if they'd come back. I was like, you just can't be around. You just need to go. I had probably stimulants was my drug of choice back then. Stimulants was my drug of choice for a long time. That was how I self-medicated. And after the wife left and I told her that this shit's gotten out of hand, she didn't know that I was using like I was using. She knew I'd have a play up here and there, but she didn't know that I was using it on a daily basis, just to keep calm. But after she left, man, I went downhill very, very quickly. And I'm thank God. I know you've got the 988 over here. We had VVCS, the hotline there. I'd been awake for 7 days, and I'd sat up the last night thinking that my best mate was with 2 little junkies trying to rob me car. I was watching them all out the front. And when the sunlight come up and I realized it was just a little Christmas tree incense in the car, it wasn't my mate's beard. And the bids behind the car weren't the 2 little junkies. I was like, holy fuck. And that's when I knew. I was like, I've completely lost it. And I ended up on the phone with VVCS. And I was just so lucky, man. Down in Melbourne, in Heidelberg, they had the repat hospital, and they're like, we need to get you in and get you some help. And I suppose that was the first time being in there. I was lucky enough, man. I was in there with a lot of Vietnam veterans. And I suppose that's why my journey's been a hell of a lot different to most for me in those early days, was because those guys, I wanted to understand what was going on, bro. I needed to understand what was happening to me because I didn't want to be like this forever.
Right.
So I took on their advice, and I think I've shared it with you before. It was a combat medic, chopper combat medic from Vietnam. He walked around. He was like on 700 milligrams of Seroquel for breakfast and 700 milligrams of Seroquel for dinner. And we'd come out of a heavy group session one time, and he wasn't even in there. It's just him saying the words to me, and it still to this day he goes, I wish I talked about this shit 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
Yeah. And that was when it sunk into me. I was like, if I'm not only going to help myself, and I'm hoping that I can help educate my mates, because I know if I'm going through it, then fuck, most of us are going to be feeling and going through the same sort of shit. Maybe not in the style that I did things, but I knew that they were all going to be fighting demons and battles on the inside and not having an understanding of it. So I got very vocal about it, and I made it my mission, my new mission to heal, not only to be able to educate, but more importantly, so I, especially listening to the Vietnam guys and the impacts it was going to have on my children, on my child at the time, children later. I needed to do something about it. And that's why I've got so many admissions, because I was able to recognize when I no longer had control, the depression had gotten too deep. I started not only looking into them, I obviously got myself medicated properly for the first time, but also started looking in some of the holistic side of things for calming the brain down. And that's when I started to get into my meditation. And that was always a big one, because that was fucking what they used to. I used to use that as an excuse just for people to leave me alone so I could sleep, man. And I think my family picked up on it when I'd stop looking after my personal hygiene, and I'd just start sleeping 18, 19 hours a day, just loading myself up on meds and getting out. Just dropping myself, tranquilizing myself. That was when usually, man, I was very lucky, man. Definitely married the right woman coming home, because I wouldn't be still here. Because obviously her father suffered some serious mental health problems after his motorbike accident and the life that he led. And although it wasn't military, she could have some understanding of this wasn't me. And it wasn't the dude she'd met, because, man, we only knew each other 3 days. I met my ex-wife on leave from Afghanistan after I nearly died in Athens with a bowel and large intestinal infection. And managed to convince her to move out to Australia 2 weeks after I got back from Afghanistan after the second part of my tour. So I was very lucky in that regard, man, that I had someone beside me that sort of get, even though no one else around me could get it or understand it, she could recognize the patterns enough. And the guilt that I always carried, that I'd brought this woman over and sort of got her trapped in Australia with a kid, man, was a driving factor for me to want to when shit got bad, was to try and make changes.
Salute.
But yeah, man, they used to, my family used to joke about those trips, man. It was like, he's just going on holiday. And it's definitely not, man. I don't know what it's like over in your wards, man, but the programs and stuff that we do, especially down at Heidelberg before I moved up here, they were the foundations that I needed to continue on this healing path, I suppose. And whenever shit went down, and shit got bad again, I was able to reset. But I think my problem, bro, was I'd get bored with one fucking healing method, I'd fuck up again so I could find another one. Yeah, man. So it was it just becomes sort of a custom thing for me. When shit got bad, I'd take I had to, man, because after we lost the family business and the family home 12 months after I got home, I was back living with my parents. I'd gone from the kid that they said at school was never going to amount to anything, to coming back from war to being the managing director of a fucking $2.5 million security company, one of the most recognized security companies in our area. And having that for 12 months before we lost everything. So that isolation and things, I just knew I couldn't be around them because I couldn't control myself. So it was, I suppose it became my safe zone to be able to go and work through my shit because I couldn't do it at home when I had the stresses of normal life around me.
All right, man. I want to touch on one other part, bro. Last rough, raw part that, hey, we're now close enough to each other though, in person. Put it on the table. All right. Was gonna also do a class at Camp Doghouse on not just war anger management. And again, I didn't say anger management. I said war anger management. It's a lot motherfucking different when you have killed, when you've been paid to kill. Your levels of anger are not like everybody else. But not getting to that. All right. Another one of the classes was going to be PTSD and parenthood. All right. TOMMO and I are going to touch on the deep right now. But I do want you to know that both of us wish I think I speak for both of us, wish we had been better husbands and fathers years ago while we were going through our sicknesses.
100%, bro. And you definitely speak for me on that one, man. Yeah, I don't have any regrets in my life. I just wish I could have done things differently. As much as my kids I've come out the other side, and I've now so grateful for all those admissions and the work that I have put in, because I've seen the benefits of that playing out, because my kids have a greater understanding of what's going on. But yeah, man, I definitely think it's a big part, man. I won't lie to you, all. Like, I spent 7 years wanting to help veterans, and I got sick of trying to help people that didn't want to help themselves. And my focus definitely shifted towards how I can make an impact on those veterans without having to touch them. And I honestly believe the best way to do that was to be able to support the families, or the immediate family, or the closest people around the veteran, because I think you touched on it earlier, bro. We're not after pity. We just want some love.
Motherfucking right.
We just want some fucking love, man.
Remember
we just want understanding.
No war veteran never asks you for pity. Even if he's down bad on the side of the road, he's asking you for help, but not motherfucking pity. Remember that. Yeah. There's a big fucking difference.
Yeah, bro. It's and if I think they had the education and the understanding, my biggest problem was coming home and trying to regurgitate all this stuff to my family without any real context behind it. So I wasn't showing them how to do it. I was trying to teach them. And I think there needs to be an environment where we're healing together. And that's what my big plans in the future are with Camp Doghouse, and what I'm hoping to do over in Thailand on these retreats is bring the families involved, and get them to share the experience. And I know how beneficial that is, because I got to experience that. And it wasn't, I wasn't with war veterans, to be honest with you, at the rehab. And we had at the end a family day where the family comes in and they dive you into the deep, dark shit. And I want to, one thing I have to say is that, man, those trips, my family used to joke about it being a holiday, man, but I worked just as hard in there as I did in the fucking war. Mate, diving into your demons and your darkest, man, that takes fucking courage beyond belief. I take my hat off to anyone that's willing to stop avoiding that shit with drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, and all the self-medicating tools that we veterans are so good at using, so we don't have to face the core of where all these issues come from. Yeah. What do you got to say on that?
Completely agree, boss. The hell, that's why. Hey, he asked me what I got to say. Like, I ain't been doing this whole, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't started this whole conversation, this whole podcast to talk about what do you got to say? Well, shit, I don't know. I got a couple hours or a couple episodes.
We got 7 days now, bro.
Yeah, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to break it down. You know what I mean? But yeah, I totally agree, man. You know that. That's what we're here. That's what we're doing it for.
And I just hope through this stuff, man, like it just gives other people the courage to get in on that shit, man. And yeah, it is another war. It's the war of the mind, you know?
Yeah.
And we can't just expect our families and people to get it if we're not willing to go in and understand it ourselves. That's my big belief. You know, when those times are tough and we want that love and understanding, how can we expect them to give it to us if we don't know what we need? You know, and that's where the educating yourself comes in, man. And look, after 13 trips, I don't think it needs to be that hard. I wouldn't say to anyone, fucking walk the path that I've walked. But I'm hoping by sharing my story and my journey, you can get the bits and pieces out you need today, man. We're in a world where everything it's all at the bottom of that, you know. It's there's nothing that you can't find out if you're asking the right questions. But I think at the start, when you've got that access to the therapy, and you've got people that study this shit and understand it to some level, you know, I still don't think someone that's learnt this all in a book is the right person for it to be. They can give you the tools to understand it, but I think
it can't be enough. It can't be all of it.
No, man, you need people that have lived that experience and come out the other side to be able to really be able to connect with you.
Yeah.
Really be able to connect with you. So yeah. We probably should get some structures to this stuff so I'm not just fucking rambling all the time.
You're not. You didn't catch me the first time when I was like, let's redirect you.
Yeah.
When I catch it, but hey, if neither one of us catch it, then fuck, you just got to wait till we get back on topic. Till we get back on topic, like, yeah. Like I said, he got brain injury. I got brain injury. What the fuck you expect?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man. And look, mine's not even fucking diagnosed. I probably should go get it done, but I know it is now, man. I've been around too many fucking gun things. I've been too close to too many explosions, and fuck, I've been knocked out way too many times. That's why I had to go start Muay Thai so I could learn how to fight. Oh God, man! But fuck, it's good having you here.
Yeah, right on.
It's fucking unbelievable.
All right, everyone. This has been episode 146. We are live together. We told you this was an international podcast, you motherfuckers. Right?
Yeah.
We told you we were coming together for the mental health of war veterans around the world. All right. And hey, we linked up. His trips to the psych ward, my trips to the psych ward. But we picked ourselves up. We're here. We're on the show. Hope you liked it. Episode 146. Tune in all week. Sergeant WarDawg TV Australia and the WarDawg Trail podcast Australia. WarDawg and TOMMO. Salute.